What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Brandon's Face. It's the podcast about a playlist. My name is Jonathan Beardsley.
And I'm Brandon May.
Thank you all for joining us for episode number 150, and it is one of my favorites of the year. It is our Coachella Set Times Extravaganza for 2025. Woo! The past couple of years that we've done this, it's always been hypothetical, but situations have changed, and you are not going weekend one, but you will be going weekend two. So this is no longer entirely hypothetical, but it at least is an indicator of what we're thinking for weekend one, though.
Yes, sir.
All right, man, let's just dive right in here. We got all of this to work with. Let's start Friday. So, usually Friday early day, there's not a lot of big names on there. You're usually not going to want to get there at doors. But what's the first name on the set times that's kind of like catching your eye?
So as is tradition, John, and I'm going to be working off of the weekend two set times because that's what I've been, obsessing over the last few.
Sure.
But they're very similar. As is tradition, John, I obviously I look into the lineup and I figure out who I want to see. Glixen at 2 o'clock in the Sonora tent. Some shoegaze to start off my Coachella journey in a tent I've never been in, as this is the first time I'm going in 9 years. So the Sonora
Yeah,
tent did not even exist my last year in
that's
2016. So
crazy. That's insane. I'm excited for you to give me the 411 on what being inside of that tent is like. Glixen is a good pick. Raven Lene at 235 is a good start for R&B, and Coco and Breezy at 145 in the Yuma is also a good pick there. I'd say those are ones that if you're going to get there early and get your zoomies out, cannot recommend either of those
Zoomies
picks
out
more.
is amazing.
Uh, it's a little light until I would say around 450 day one with Lola Young. She is the first must see that I'm seeing on the lineup. Is there anybody I'm missing before that?
You know what my plan is, and obviously this changes as my mood changes when I'm at the festival, but my plan is to hit Glixen in the Sonora, hit Moon Boots in the Yuma tent, and then have a beer and then go to Lola Young. That is my preliminary plan.
And from all I know about Lola Young, she would fully support everybody having a beer before her set. That is
Oh,
the
I'm
peak
gonna
way to
have a
see
beer before,
Lola
and
Young.
then I'm gonna bring a beer to that set.
If you're not checking out Lola Young, I think 36 Mafia is sure to be a very, very fun show.
Can we talk
We're
about this conflict though? And I know that the fan bases don't really interact or overlap either. But the Go-Go's and 3 6 Mafia, but all being at the same time, with the end of Lola Young's set kind of creeping in on that, it's kind of fucking annoying, bro. Because I actually really wanted to see the Go-Go's and I actually really wanted to see 3 6 Mafia. So it really is going to depend for me on if I can get to the fucking Sahara that's like a mile away.
Yeah, the new location of the Sahara, new relatively to the last time we went, is going to be interesting in how that plays out legwork wise. And if an act has already filled it up, how close you're even able to get, and if it'll be worth watching that act from however far back you are. All
Right.
of these things are for sure going to play a factor. I'm still going to bank everything on get there for Lola, fight your way up. It's going to be more than worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. After that, we got the Quasar Open at 5 to 6. Coco and Breezy doing a back to back with Kalina Zanders. I think that is going to be a really fun way to open up that stage. Elsewhere, Sarah Landry debuting her new show at 6:10 in the Sahara tent. We also have Tyla on the outdoor stage. Where are you going after that?
Probably Kneecap, man. I did a lot of research and Kneecap fucks, bro. It's a hardcore band and I really, really like their music. So I will probably be streaming Sarah Landry's set as I'm not a gigantic fan of her either. People
Sure.
are kind of upset at her late afternoon set time, but like,
Get
come
over
on,
it.
man. Look at the names after her, you know?
Yeah, exactly. There's some very big ones, including a member of Blackpink right after her that has headlined the festival. Like
Right.
nobody's too proud to be where you're at. You're all there to do this. I'm
But this
shocked
is
that you're
actually
not prioritizing Tin Liquor.
Well, that's what I was gonna say is that the Tyla so I'm gonna go to Kneecap. Kneecap is relatively near the Yuma tent, or at least not a mile and a half. It'll probably be
Hmm.
half a mile. But the Tin Liquor Tyla conflict is hard, bro. I want to go see Water, you know what I mean? But I also really want to go see what Tin Liquor's all about. it's not billed as live or a DJ set. I wish that they had billed it as something. So like either it's a hybrid set or something. I would have preferred like a live late night Tin Liquor set and like the Mojave to bring all that atmosphere in. But I mean, look at
Yeah.
the Mojave's lineup this entire day. Beggars can't be choosers there, you know?
Yeah, and let's touch on that. We can talk about this for each day, but as much as we're kind of picking where our favorite names are and how we would run around this map as if we don't have energy or time at our disposal, you do want to find a lineup that might work for you for two or three acts in a row and kind of plant there. And I think both of these spots are perfect for that. Tin Liquor going into Pete Tong back to back with Ahmed Spins is a great spot to just park there for a couple hours and have fun. And on the flip side, on the outdoor, I think Tyla and the Marias back to back outdoor stage first night. If the weather's great, that is going to be so nice.
Honestly,
Um,
if you're not a big EDM fan, Tyla into the Marias into Parcels is going to be honestly
yeah.
insane. That is a great 3 set run. So if you
He,
park your ass at the outdoor starting about 6:45 p.m., you're going to have a good time.
and if you don't care about being the one closest to the stage or getting the nicest pictures, you can even position yourself far enough back in the outdoor that you can run to Missy Elliott, who I would probably consider a must see, and then back to Parcels in time. Like all of these are possible. There's like you said, outdoor closing with Tyler the Marias and Parcels is great. We got Missy Elliott going into Lady Gaga, who is closing the main stage, but you have plenty of time to get to Lady Gaga. Elsewhere, we got the Prodigy closing the Mojave after
Prodigy
Mike
is a
Snow
must
and
see.
Dress. Prodigy is going to fucking rip. They have not played this in so long. That's going to be fun. Glorilla, awesome.
I kind of wanted to see Glorilla, man, but you put Glorilla and Parcels up against the Prodigy. The Prodigy wins literally every fucking time. I'm gonna go Feral. Catch me in the middle of that set, weekend two. Let's fucking party.
All right, Lady Gaga is clearly one of the best pop performers of her era, of any pop star we've ever seen, but that doesn't mean you're going to prioritize seeing her in this atmosphere. Where are you going between Gaga, Vintage Culture, and Mustard?
So I want to touch on this for a second. Vintage Culture getting an 11:15 closing slot at the Yuma tent. Everybody give Vintage Culture a round of fucking applause. John and I, we've been covering this artist for a while now, at least 2 years, right? And
Yep.
we've kind of seen his rise. We saw him play a couple years ago at Coachella in the middle of the fucking day at the Sahara tent, and now he's closing the Yuma. And I honestly, I love watching artists rise up like that because he really is doing it. That being said, I'm closing the night at Gaga. I don't need to see Kendrick come out for Mustard. I have heard Not Like Us about a million thousand times. Lady Gaga, I think, is going to be
Right
a
move.
spectacle at the very least. It'll be a lot of fucking fun.
I agree, and I think you're making the right decision there. My two must-sees for Friday, week one, are going to be Lola Young and the Marias. Who are your must-sees out of this whole day?
That's it's the same. The Lola Young and Maria's, I'm not missing them. It doesn't fucking matter who else is playing at those times. I have to see both of those
Yep.
artists. You know how
Yep.
much I love the Marias. You know how much everybody who listens to our podcast knows how much I love the
Yes.
Marias, and
You're not missing that.
I'm gonna cry. And
Yeah.
if you see a really large man crying at the Marias, just come give me a hug, you know?
I'm gonna be looking for you on there, man. I'm gonna be looking for you. All right, let's move into Saturday. Obviously, this is kind of most people's peak, both drug-wise and just of the weekend in general. But it's stacked. Let's get into things. It starts a little earlier at 1 p.m. I'm not seeing a whole lot of names too early that are must-see until about 3 when we got Weezer, who is in the news for other reasons today, Salute, Leighton G. Ordani, and a few others. Where are you starting your day at?
So we've covered High a couple of times, and they did my
Yes, we
girl
have.
dirty, bro. And I gotta get in and see High at 1 o'clock. I'm gonna go early on Saturday. I
I
gotta go
love
see
that.
her.
You can also see her on the Quasar at 6, though.
That's only weekend one.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Sorry. Forgot you were
So
one of those lowly weekend two people.
I go to weekend too, bro. What do you think? I'm from Los Angeles. Anyway, anyways, Weezer is added for weekend one, but weekend two got Ed Sheeran, and barring how
Yeah, fuck.
badly my feet already hurt on Saturday afternoon, if I can get to Salute or Leighton Giordani instead of Ed Sheeran, those are the moves.
Yeah, I think if I were to go, Salute would be the move I would try to make. From there, though, I think Salute's the move to make because A-Lock and then Disco Lines are the followers. I know you're going to be at Viagra Boys by the time that kicks off at
Yeah.
5:50, but Salute into A-Lock is not a bad way to start your day. However, if you got the energy, which it's first thing in the day, you might as well get your run out. Salute to Jimmy Eat World, I think is the move, right?
You know, man, I've been actually agonizing about this. I remember sending it to you a few months ago. I watched the KEXP performance of Glass Beams, and it was definitely prior to the Coachella lineup dropping. I remember it must have been November or December. I've watched that KEXP performance like 100,000 times, and I'm really mad that I mean, think about this though. Think about this conflict. This like block between 4 and 5. Jimmy Eat
Mhm.
World, Tink. I'm not a gigantic fan of Tink, but great music nonetheless. Glass Beams, Alok, Kling Kunstler, who is, if you've got energy, you better be at Kling and in the Yuma because that is some hard techno. I won't be
Yep.
there, but I think, man, I've seen Jimmy Eat World 3 times and they've been
Front row,
fucking
yo gabba
great.
gabba. Do it.
Right, right, bro. But I'm sorry, yo, Gabba Gabba. Viagra Boy starts at 5:15. I'm getting in the middle of that fucking tent so I can fuck shit
Yes, you
up. So
are. I think anybody listening to this that knows you knows you were going to be at Viagra Boys no matter what. I'm doing Jimmy Eat World into T-Pain because I just think that that sounds like a lot of fun. But man, there is some temptation to be had elsewhere. Let's go
even
into the
Japanese
afternoon.
breakfast is right there too, man. It's
Japanese
stacked.
breakfast literally right there at the stage next to that. So yeah, that's pretty tempting as well, but I've never seen T-Pain. He's been one of my favorite artists for like 20
I
years, so I
know,
would
I
have to
know.
check that one off the list. But Viagra Boys is up there as well. Disco Lines if you just want to dance your ass off all day. From there though, it gets really really fucking hard,
So
man.
hard.
All right, we got Charlie XCX versus Infected Mushroom with a dash of blonde redhead in there if you want to start off early.
And the LA Philharmonic, who
LA.
weekend one, the weekend
Yes.
one is being joined by Zed, which is an interesting choice. But if it, it's funny, man. The Coachella forums and the subreddit have all hated on Zed for like a long time. But
Hmm.
if you have not seen Zed and you're going to Coachella, go see Zed. You're gonna have a fucking great time. He throws down a fantastic set. I've seen Zed a handful of times, so I'm good. But Gustavo Dudamel and the LA Phil is that's gonna be a fucking interesting show, man.
Yep. Oh, I agree 100%. How it plays out. I used to be a lot more curious as to how they would do these things with like Hans Zimmer and stuff, but they've proven themselves as able to put on these types of production and it not be a total disaster in the way that it could be. So I think that that one, if that's up your alley, should be kind of high up on the list because it's going to be one of those you're not going to see this anywhere else type of shows for sure.
100%. But also infected mushroom. We said it when the Yuma specific lineup dropped, and we found out that infected mushroom was happening in the Yuma. That's so fucking weird to me, man. There's such a psychedelic visual psytrance
Hmm.
artist that like, how are you gonna put the infected mushroom in the room with no screens? I hope they don't put screens in the Yuma. Don't want that. And I definitely don't want infected mushroom playing in the Yuma. I'm definitely gonna be at Charlie XCX for this though, because it's the end of an era, man.
I think even if Infected was in the Sahara, I would say go for Charlie, at least for myself, because I've seen Infected like five, six times. I've seen Charlie once, and I feel like this is the type of stage Charlie's really going to go all out on the guests for.
She's gonna crush it,
So,
man.
yeah, it's going to be very, very fun. Going to be odd for Green Day to follow in terms of a stylistic follow-up, but I'm sure Green Day will do their thing. But let's not get too
Yes.
ahead of ourselves. So, Charlie runs till about 8:10. From there, you have the option of staying for Green Day, Claro. We got in hyphen if you want to go K-pop or Mind Against back to back with Masano. All of these feel like precursors to where you want to end your night. So what are your kind of your last moves for Saturday night?
Well, I think that some of my last moves. So that little hour block,
Hmm.
I might go pop by Dark Side. I've heard some really cool stuff from this band. But I'm definitely drinking because Green Day is
Yeah.
about to be on, and I'm gonna go, put my arm over my boy's shoulder and fucking sing my heart out to a bunch of old fucking Green Day songs. So that's
Yep.
what I'm doing. Weekend two, though, Quasar starting at 8 o'clock has Cascade Redux back to back Idris Elba, which is
Should be fun.
I might just need to go see in person Charles Minor throw down a fucking banger ass house set. You know what I mean, man? So I might go hit Cascade Redux up for 40 minutes or so before Green Day, and that's gonna be that. Sad I might have to miss Above and Beyond because,
Yeah.
well, Green Day's playing at the same time. Maybe I'll split this one, but you know me, I don't know, man. What do you
Also,
think? What should I do? Should I split Green Day and Above and Beyond?
bro, I would be off my ass at Beth Gibbons most likely at this moment. Yeah, Beth Gibbons is playing that same time of Portishead Fan. Oh, in all reality, though, Green Day I think is the more fun move. Above and Beyond is great. Outdoor Stage is a great spot for them. Going into Misfits right after is very, very, very odd. Although I think there will be enough of a time delay there that it'll lull into a natural transition. But I think Green Day is the move for like people of your musical background for sure. I think that's the most fun.
It's Green Day into original Misfits for me, and then after an hour of after I hear Halloween, I'm gonna hit up the Do Lab and see what they got going on.
Eli closing the Yuma interests me quite a bit as well. I've been really enjoying his last few singles. Very bassy, very fun. Should be great, great late night music. And also that Barry Can't Swim back to back with too many DJs and Salute and the Quasar. Pretty
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
So who's your one or two must see on Saturday? Viagra?
Definitely Viagra Boys. I will not miss them. I don't care how many other special guests they throw at me. I need to go hear Punk Rock Loser live. Probably the other one's gonna be Green Day, man. I gotta see Green Day. I will also see Charlie XCX, but only because there's not a lot else that's happening around that time.
Not
You
a
know what
lot
I
of
mean?
competition. Yeah, T-Pain and Charlie are mine. You will definitely have a good time. Uh,
Yes, sir.
all right, Sunday, let's round this weekend off. We start very, very, very like kind of light with the big names here. What's the first name really drawing your attention here? I know mine's probably going to be the Beaches, but I'm curious on yours.
Bob Villain.
Ah, good pick. I didn't even see that one there.
Yep, 3 o'clock. Bob Villain. Lazy Sunday. Gonna get there a little late, probably 2:30, and then
Hmm.
Bob Villain into the beaches, into maybe Interplanetary Criminal if I can get there, but probably not.
Yeah.
I'll probably pop by Money Long. I'm good on Shabuzi.
That makes more than enough sense there. I have a feeling you're not going to prioritize Amaray, but I think that between soft play and Biba Doobie, where are you thinking there?
Soft play, easy.
Yes, yeah, I agree. They are not doing a lot of US dates, or at least they haven't announced any more to what they already announced, and that's a must see. I am so bummed they aren't coming up here yet. So, man, anybody that gets to see that one, I am very jealous of.
I
Biba
That's
Doobie
a hard
soft play.
conflict.
Yeah, and Biba Doobie Soft Play and Amaray is three very different types of music, but all kind of must-sees within their genre.
And it's really also a conflict with Ben Bomer, who crushes his live sets. I've listened to a number of his live sets. So, but for me, it's going to be soft play into circle jerks, man. The circle jerks are fucking legends.
Yeah, I think Soft Play into Circle Jerks is just more fun for a music festival than Bomer into Virgie, which is
Yeah.
great. Into Brecca, like into Chasing Status. That's an insane dance music run right there. But yes, Soft Play, Circle Jerks, Ginger Root, that is equally as insane, just in a much different way. In terms of the big pop acts, they saved a lot of them for Sunday, I'm
They
noticing. We
did.
got Jenny of Blackpink. We got Megan the Stallion, who, yes, I'm aware is rap, but you know what I mean by pop in that regard. Ty Dolla Sign, rounding out the state. The Sahara with XG. Where are you falling on this? This one kind of took me by surprise. XG closing the Sahara.
That is interesting. I won't be there. My day is going to be like I said, Bob Villain into the beaches, probably back into soft play, circle jerks. And then if I can get to Boris, I'll catch a little bit of Boris. But the main deal for the main conflict for me here
Mhm.
is Basement Jacks for Chase and Status. This is the Basement Jacks first live show in the United States, I believe, since 2009,
Crazy.
which is wild. I wanted to see Chase and Status, but god damn it, man, they put him right next to Basement Jacks. It's like they're trying to control the crowd or something, man. That's fucked up. Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards Basement Jacks there. From there, probably into Kraftwerk. From there into Amel and the Sniffers, if I can catch the end of their set, and
Mhm.
then hit the Do Lab, see what they got for special guests, and dip the fuck out on Sunday.
Oh my God, the freaks in the Gobi going from Arca to Amel is gonna be
Let's
wild.
go.
That's gonna be
Let's go.
such a clash of vibes, but also like equally is just insane. I can't wait to see how that plays out. I think it's gonna mesh well, just in a weird way. We got Jenny from Blackpink. I really, really, really liked her last album. I don't know how her show would translate well, so I don't know if it's worth prioritizing, but I think that's a fun one. Megan can rap her ass off live. I'm sure she's gonna crush it. Post Malone, I just don't give a shit about. Zed, I think always crushes it on stages this big. XG, I really, really like. I would probably go that route. I just think the stage is a little weird. And Tiesto and the Quasar weekend one probably will have its moments as well. But yeah,
For
man,
sure.
I think for Sunday, at least week one, my must-sees are going to be the beaches. I think that they're going to be so fun and probably soft play. What are your must-sees for Sunday?
Most definitely soft play. I definitely need to see soft play and the circle jerks, man. Those are and that's gonna be an easy this is gonna be an easy get. I'm really sad that I'm probably gonna miss Ginger Root. I really am
Hmm.
sad about that. I love Ginger Root. Every fans of the podcast know that I love Ginger Root. And honestly, I'm a little sad that I'm gonna be missing Zed for Basement Jacks, but and Craft Work. But honestly, I've seen Zed a handful of times and I'm
Yeah.
good, man. He throws down a fucking great set. So if you are a fan of cheesy EDM music, go see his set. It will be incredible. Like not even a joke. It'll be insane.
I can't wait to watch along with you this weekend. Can I talk about Kiki Boy? Can I please talk about Kiki
Yes,
Boy?
yes, yes, yes. Do it. Do
Okay,
it. Do it.
okay. So the other day, a new Instagram popped up under the name Kiki Boy with a bunch of I's and K's and Y's. I don't remember the exact number. Anyways, what's notable about this is Frank Ocean's Blonded page, as well as SZA, started immediately following this page. Very atypical for just a brand new random Instagram. The display picture from this page is a picture of Michael Jordan when he came out of retirement. Um, no, again, all of this doesn't really ring any alarms. It's Frank Ocean being weird or maybe creating a Smurf account. That's not weird. What's weird is that there's a
No.
billboard up in the desert now that says Kiki Boy. And I I mean, I guess some would argue he has some rights to make with Coachella, although I don't know if a surprise performance unannounced under a different moniker would be quite doing that. But is there a chance this happens, or is this just like more cryptic messaging for the sake of being cryptic?
John, I'm just gonna be completely real with you, man. Frank Ocean is will hurt you. He will hurt you over and over and over again, man. I don't know what to tell you, man.
What does it mean? Billboards cost money. Like, why
But
do
what's funny
this?
to him, bro? How much are his cock rings that he sells online?
Yeah, I mean that's true. He did sell the orange Beamer from what I've heard. So maybe he's got some extra dough laying around. I don't know, man. If he pops up in any capacity, which would be an insane surprise considering I don't think there's a lot of affiliated acts within his small circle on this lineup. But who the fuck knows? What if Shabuzi's the one that gets Frank actually out of this? God only knows, man. But we'll be talking about this next week at the same time, and we'll be saying if I'm either right or hurt again. So
All right.
you love a good conspiracy theory, man. Don't act like you don't.
You heard it here first, everybody. Everybody listening to the podcast, John will cry live on air next week. Tune
That
in.
doesn't sell anything. I do that every week. All right, man. Let's get into it this week. We got some fun music to talk about. New one from Rudimental and Khalid called All I Know. I love this track, dude. Instrumental is great. Vocals are giving me like the same feeling 2019 Khalid vocals used to give me. Big fan of this one. What about you?
This is fantastic, John. I would love for Khalid to do more EDM stuff. Rudimental does their thing, as is tradition.
Yep. Yeah, I would as well. He's kind of mastered the like R&B mixtape. He's done the insane pop album. Every time he dips his toe into EDM, whether it's Disclosure or now Rudimental, he fucking kills it. Like, please give
Real,
us a full album of this. Uh
super real.
Adriatic remix of In This Moment by Rufus Du Sol. What do you think of it?
Fantastic remix of this track, John. Adriatique just has like ways about the bass lines that just they speak to me, man.
Yes, he does, dude. It's a great remix. The way their styles come together in it reminds me a lot of like
Right.
Above and Beyond, like with the synths
A
and
little
stuff.
bit, yeah.
The same chords, maybe. It's really good regardless. Big fan of it.
Yep.
A new one from Cascade and Lipless called State of Mind. It's the extended mix, of course. This is just classic Cascade, man. It sounds like he made this with the same exact pack of sounds he was using 15 years ago, but it still works, still sounds great. What'd you think of it?
A vocal cascade track with an extended mix in 2025. Let's fucking go. And you know that I love a good arpeggio, bro. This track is so dreamy.
Are we actually going to get a new Cascade full-length album is the real question.
Oh, please. Come on, man.
All right, new one from Tin Liquor and Hero Baldwin. I started a fire. What'd you think of this one?
I love Tin Liquor. I love this track. I know that you prefer their music without vocals, but I think this one's beautiful, man.
Yeah, yeah, you called it, man. Not my favorite of their recent work, but I thought this one was good. The instrumental's decent.
Yeah.
All right, man. New one from Ray Ray and House of Panda. I fucking love whatever this specific style of hard techno is, and more specifically, the way Ray Ray brings it all together on the last few tracks of hers we've covered. This is great. What'd you think?
Feels like a pop song, listens like a dance
Yeah.
banger. Track goes pretty hard, man.
Yeah, loved it. New one from Anima and Yeet called Work. This feels like one of the more forgettable songs I've heard from both artists. Just not working for me. Not bad, but probably overall a thumbs down for me. What about you?
Ah, yes, the collab that literally no one asked for is finally here. I can actually understand yeet here, which is, I guess, for the better. What does yeet mean?
To throw something, I believe.
But yeah, but that's Y-E-E-T. This is Y-E-A-T. He's actually going to be at Coachella. We didn't talk about it. He's bringing like a giant 50-foot bell or something as if AC/DC hasn't done it before. So
Hey man, he's a Portlander, so I will support his weirdness regardless. Bring the fucking bell with you, Yeet. Bring the 50-foot bell. Do it. All right, new one from ASAP Rocky or ASAP Rocky. God damn it. God damn
you
it.
fell victim to one of the classic blunders,
Oh
John.
no. New one from Aesop Rock called Checkers. Oh, just go. Give me a second to recompose myself. I gotta give
Man,
myself some
I
lashings.
fucking I fucking love Aesop Rock, dude. He has the cadence. Almost all of his tracks start off so weird, and you're like, this isn't gonna work. And then they all just balance out and all come together in the end.
Yep.
This one's no different. I love this song. I love this dude.
Yeah, my notes just say bars.
Yep.
It's really
Your
good.
notes for literally every single one of his tracks could just say bars.
Those are the best artists. New one from Baby Tricks called Super. We will be covering the album that this song is on next week, but even though we'll be talking about it more in depth, I think it goes without saying this is just as fun as her other songs typically are. Classic Baby Tricks. What'd you think of it?
Exactly what my notes say. BB Tricks crushing it lately. This is another super fun track. Glad we got a whole album to cover next week.
Yeah, gonna be very fun. New one from Pink Pantheress called Tonight. I have been waiting years for this girl to drop something that makes me hear what everyone else seems to enjoy about her music so much. And this is it, dude. This is so fun. It's bouncy. It's catchy. It even has a sample from Panic at the Disco's Pretty Odd at the beginning.
That's what
Wait a
that
minute.
is.
Yeah, yeah, a deep cut. I love this track, man. Really, really, really good pop music. What'd you think of it?
That's crazy, bro. I was thinking, I was like, what the fuck is that from? This is cool, man. Housey, bouncy, still keeping her signature style. Good song.
Yeah. Oh, 3 minutes though. A 3 minute song for Pink Pantheress. How about that? God
Y-
damn.
Yikes. Is she okay? Do we know if she's
I
okay?
maybe not. It was funny. She released like a minute little preview of this song on social media a few weeks before it came out, and somebody was like, "Man, I can't wait to hear more than the snippet." And they're like, "Oh, buddy, do I have some bad news for you?"
This might be it.
Shout out to her for giving us this much. It's definitely the song we all would have wanted more of if it was shorter.
Right.
All right, new one from Sailor, Down Bad. I don't know if we've talked about her yet, but she's an up and coming R&B artist I've been listening to for a while. Every new song she drops makes me a bigger fan. This one's no different. Was this up your alley R&B wise?
It's a decent track. It's got like this little traditional pop melody, some like bedroom pop production, which I really liked. I
Yeah,
love
very
the beat. I
DIY.
love the production on it. It's a decent track.
Glad you enjoyed it, man. What
Yeah.
did you think about the two new tracks we got from the Marias?
Yeah, I can't stop listening to them. Which is
You too, huh?
apparently, man, this playlist this week is insane. Number
It's
one.
loaded.
Number two.
Yeah.
Number two. I just cannot wait for hopefully I hear at least one of these at Coachella in about a week.
You will. I'm almost positive they'll play back to me. I was not expecting anything new from them this year, so to get two new songs feels like a bonus. Both of these were written around the time of or after Submarine. They will not be attached to a new album, but will most likely end up as a record store release of some kind
Right.
next year. The songs themselves are great. Back to Me feels like classic Maria's. Nobody New has some of the Latin vocals that we always love when she does. They are incapable of making a bad song. Every time they could do the most boring thing, they choose some little way of making it memorable and creative. And I love them for that, man. These songs are
Right.
excellent. I'm gonna say both of these are my song of the week, man. So, so good. New one from Chloe the God. What's so funny is the name of this. This is the first of the tracks that she's released for her upcoming deluxe edition of her last project. If the rest of the songs sound as good as this, which I imagine they will, it's going to be fucking awesome. What's unique about the upcoming deluxe she did is if you remember when she released it last, you're like, this is great, but this is like 7 songs. Is this an album? It looks like she's expanding it to about 11 songs, but also re reinserting songs within the other songs into the track list. So it's not going to be here's the
I
original
see.
7, here's the other 5 tacked on to the end. She's kind of reshaping the album. I think the songs
No,
that
I
we've
like that.
heard are still in the order they're in, but there's going to be different songs interspersed in between. Hopefully completing what I think is already a project that really doesn't need much more completing. But what do you think of this one, man?
Yeah, man, she's got like so much atmosphere to her music. This is great. This song was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, really, really good. The indie pop wave right now is just fucking awesome. Good time to be a fan of that type
So
of
hot right now.
music. New one from the Beaches. Last Girls at the Party is the name of this one. I can already picture crowds of people singing the hook to this one at music festivals for years to come. You might get a taste of that next weekend. This feels like an instant hit to me, man. What about you?
So a lot of people are asking who's going to be the Fred again or the Chappell Roan of this year's Coachella, and a lot of people are saying Lola Young, but Lola Young
It's
has
Lola.
40 million Spotify listeners. I think that she's already had that. I
That's
think it's going to be the
insane.
Beaches, bro, and I think that this song might put them into the fucking stratosphere. They deserve to be wildly popular. I don't know why they are. Why haven't they gotten the wet leg treatment, bro?
I mean, they kind of, I would say them and Wet Leg are neck and neck. Let's not pit fucking girls in the industry against each other, Brandon. Both of them are fucking awesome and great for the genre and great for music. Both of them are crushing it. I think you're right. If it's not Lola, then it should be the Beaches. Smart enough, they are also, along with the upcoming tour dates they're doing Last Girl at the Party DJ sets at a few clubs to go
Oh,
along with
tight.
this. So you can party with the girls if you're in one of those cities. I'm sure it's going to be a really fun time.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
All right, man. New one from Lights called Surface Tension. What'd you think of it?
Lights has been probably one of the more consistent artists of the past decade, man. Highly underrated. This song is fucking great, dude, as is all of her songs in this or her alter ego. It's kind of crazy how consistent she's been with producing and making and putting out quality music.
I agree, dude. This is very good. Reminded me a lot of Little Boots kind of peak music. It's just fun synth pop. There's a little bit of like 80s goth influence baked into this one in the
Yeah,
like synths. Big fan of it. I've been a fan of this girl for a long time and I'm glad to hear her still crushing it like this.
right.
New one from the aforementioned Wet Leg, Catch These Fists. The first single off of their new album, and it's everything I assumed a new Wet Leg single would be. It's fun and abrasive, endlessly catchy. Fucking great, man. What'd you think of it?
I loved it, man. You can't help but love these ladies. They have the sound. I'm glad they're sticking to it. I'm glad we have a new record on the way. I like this song.
I do too. Let's see. We got a new one from Peyote Ugly up here next that you threw on called Out of Sight. What'd you think of it?
You know that I fucking love this band, dude.
I
It's
do.
so funny how I latch onto these these super duper psychedelic indie rock bands, and it's just so up my alley, man. They make music that I just fucking like.
I can see why, dude. It's a good song. I like whenever they like get into that pedal board or programming shit in the middle of this one and that takes over. I always pulls
So
me
good.
in. Really good stuff, man. New one from Caller is called Posturing. You know I always appreciate some DIY mathy emo like this, so thumbs up for me. What'd you think of this one?
Just thumbs up for me, man. I have no idea how I found collars, but God, I love this.
Yeah, this was really good. Definitely gonna have to cover them some more going forward. Holy shit, man. Let's talk about this new stateside track. Dear God, these guys have been on a fucking run. So, new one from Stateside featuring Joe Taylor of Knuckle Puck. Song is called Stay Sweet. Dude, I love everything about this. This is the type of track like it just does not get old. Great collab to follow up an already excellent EP that they put out last year. Joe Taylor and Knuckle Puck have been fucking killing it too. This song is so good, man. I really don't know what else to say about it other than that. What'd you think?
Absolute fucking cinema, John. Stateside stays killing it. I'm glad they're going on tour with the starting line and Finch. That's crazy. I hope they blow the fuck up.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really fun set of dates that those bands are playing together. All right, the ever controversial Sleep Token, their new song Caramel's out. I like this one a little more than the last single, but I still don't know if I'm gonna enjoy a full album of this sound. I thought it was a little bit better though. What about you?
Ah, you know,
It's more of the same.
those are my notes.
Yeah, fair enough. One that just fucking blew me away. New one from Static Dress called Face. Holy shit, man. What are your thoughts on this one?
Welcome to my song of the week. Dear fucking God, John. Holy
Yeah.
shit, this track is so good, man. I'm seeing them early next month at a record store in LA, which should be a really sweet show. I hope we're in the midst of an album rollout or at the beginning of an album rollout.
Yeah, I think it might be
Uh
the beginning.
just absolutely fucking feral, bro. This they get it, you know?
They do. And I honestly, when you showed me Lie Solution, I was like, yeah, they're not going to top that one for me. They did it. This is my
Right.
new favorite Static Dress song by a mile. This shit is so good. And if it's an indication of where this new album's going, fuck yeah, I cannot wait.
Let's go.
New one from Baby Metal and Poppy. From Me to You is the name of this one. This is like sound wise a match made in heaven, dude. Their styles just go perfectly together. I've had this one on repeat since it came out. What about you?
Yeah, man, this is so good. I think Baby Metal has always been a little gimmicky, but they've always had the music to back it up, and they've killed it throughout their career. Poppy adds that like little bit of heavy that I think they've always been missing from their sound, and
Yeah.
my God, does this work?
Yeah, I mean essentially they're a Asian pop group with the music of metal that are still just doing typical Asian pop. Hearing them actually do metal collabs is pretty fucking awesome.
Right.
Ghost Bath, new song, Well I Tried Drowning. What'd you think of it?
Sad, depressive, black metal. Sign me up.
Yeah, whatever those like shrieking guitars are or whatever, fuck yeah, those were rad. Good song. Very bizarre though.
I mean, welcome to Ghost Bath.
Yeah, thank you. New one from Sugar Spine, Chrome Colored Ribcage, six-song title. What'd you think of this one?
This track goes so hard, John.
It does.
I'm going to continue to follow this band, some Netherlands-based metalcore, which I don't think I've ever heard before, unless I'm mistaken. They've got a great sound, man. I really like this.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever talked about this, guys, but this is great. This is really good. Thanks for throwing it on.
Hell yeah.
A group we've definitely talked about a few times, new one from Humanity's Last Breath called Anthracite. This song is really, really good. The song itself, I love the little production things like the gated growls that they do on this. It's just
Right.
really, really good stuff. What did you think about it?
I hope we get like an electronic kind of glitchy proggy deathcore record out of them on this next one. The
Be so
last record
sick.
was insane. We talked about that. I think it ended up in my top of metal, or at the very least, we talked about it that year, 2023. Yeah, I love this one. This one was great. When I saw Humanity's Last Breath had released a new single, I was like, you know.
Yeah, fuck yeah, throw that on right away. All right, dude, we got more EPs than usual to talk about this week, so let's
Sure do.
transition to that. New one from Rachel Chinouriri, Little House is the name of it. It's four more great songs from Rachel. I'm sure these take a lot of work, but she makes it sound so easy, dude. The first two tracks, more of that upbeat and poppy sound that we've kind of known her for from that last album. Well, the last two are a little more soft and folky. She is really great at both styles, but can we talk about Isaac as my favorite of the bunch? What about you?
Sam, can we talk about Isaac is great. I love her voice. I wouldn't say that it's like classically good, you know what I mean? But like she's got so much character in her voice. And even on these like slower acoustic E tracks, she like carries this energy that is infectious, man.
I would argue that it's, I don't know, I guess classically good is an interesting way to define it, but I would argue it's just good in a way we're not used to hearing. It's got a very different, like,
Yeah.
candor to it, but it
Like she's
works.
very
It
good
just
at it.
works. Yeah.
Yeah. Her voice is it's entrancing for sure.
Yes, I agree. New one from Subtronics, Fibonacci Part 1, Oblivion. Don't let Tool know somebody named an album Fibonacci. It's a Subtronics project, dude. It sounds exactly how you expect it to. I wish there were some more vocals on here, but it still slaps from beginning to end. Final Breath is my standout of the bunch, though. What about for you?
Just some classic wub wubs for the playlist
Yeah.
this week, John. We'll talk about it in a few minutes, but I think that bass music is going to have a little bit of a comeback here. This hits, man. There's not really much else to say. It's glitchy, wubby, dubby, dubstep. I love the Gilbert Gottfried samples, and I forget the song name, but I really liked that. R.I.P. Gilbert.
Yes, R.I.P. Gilbert Gottfried. All right, man, we got a new project, kind of, from Orbital.
Yeah,
It is
there you go.
Radicchio 2025. Just imagine being able to flex having Tilda Swinton on your new project. This is the new versions of this old EP with the added intro is a great way to breathe life into a new prod or into an older project that a lot of people probably have not heard. I really, really enjoyed this release in this way. What about you?
Same, man. I love that we got Tilda on here. That was great. I wanted to throw this on mainly because of if you've listened to Radicchio, whatever it's pronounced, back in the 90s or in the early 2000s when you first were discovering Orbital, like I did, that EP could be released today and you'd be like, oh yeah, this is today's dance music. Orbital just makes timeless music, man, and I'm glad that I got to hear some reimaginings of this 30 fucking year old EP.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. It's weird in terms of like my
Right.
relationship to these albums charting most of my life now. That's very surreal, but it's so great that these artists are continually inspired by their own works. I think that that's really cool, and the cyclical nature of it in this way just pays off for the fans in a big way.
Real, real.
New one from Nadia Struwe. This EP is called X1 Shift. Thought this was great. I love how it almost feels like it was created on the spot. Everything feels very modular and raw and live. It's got a great overall tone to it as well. What did you think of this one?
I know, John. I added two techno EPs instead of the one
Oh, it's
this week,
fine.
but I couldn't help it after I heard this one, man. This is out on Blueprint Recordings. We've covered a handful of EPs from this record label, but I this one stood out to me, man. The kicks not being, four on the floor, the tribal elements, the percussion, the way she like leaves room for that sub bass, which is something you don't hear a lot in proper techno, as most producers kind of rely on like the decay of the kick to do that bass for them. This
Mhm.
is honestly one of my favorite techno releases of the year so far. I'm gonna find a way to incorporate a track or two off this EP into a set or something because my God, this was so good, bro. This was like inspiring good. Like I loved this EP.
Yeah, it goes fucking hard, man. And it does so in a very unique way. Like you said, it's not always
Right,
four to the floor, which is so typical of the genre. So to have people like this thinking outside the box is really, really cool.
right,
New one from Kresnite, it's the Backstab EP. It's a good EP, but the hi-hats on this thing are fucking incredible, dude. And I
right.
think he knew that calling the last song Chasing Hi-Hats. But yeah, the hi-hats on With You, I had to like stop and I was like, what the fuck, dude? These are great.
Scraping
Really,
metal.
really good. Yes, right? Really, really good shit though, man. What'd you think of it?
It's the hi-hats are why I added this EP, man. Out on one of my favorite labels, Planet Rhythm. We've covered like 1,000 of their EPs because I can't apparently get enough. We have this classic minimal mix with like some industrial proper techno, man. I'm a big fan of this track, March on Mars. I'm sure as you are with all them clappy claps.
Mm-hmm.
This was a very good EP. Planet Rhythm just stays crushing it, man. Shout out Planet Rhythm.
Shout out Planet Rhythm. We got a few albums to talk about. You ready to dive in?
Oh, let's dive in.
All right, man. We've been hyping this one up. Talk to me about the new Skrillex album.
The absolute icon that is Skrillex has blessed us with a mixtape. I'm going to call it a mixtape more than an album. And apparently we've been waiting for these tracks for a long fucking time, John. Number one, just kind of preface where my thoughts were when this had dropped initially, kind of shock dropped at Ultra, but we got the actual drop a couple of days later. I think techno and house music have kind of been dominating the EDM airwaves since bass music kind of died down. Basically, fully in Europe. There's no dubstep that's played in Europe, or at least not any that are in any of the mainstream clubs. But in the States, there has been a pretty dedicated bass music fan base, but it has died down, right? So much so that the bro step master himself, Senor Skrillex, dropped a house album just a couple of years ago, man. And I say all of this because the fact that he dropped a bass album is going to hit the major and mainstream fan bases of all of EDM and electronic music. And the fact that it's so well received means that his influence not only on dubstep, but popular culture, EDM and like bass music as a whole are so important to like the general music scene of not only the US at this point, bro, but it's global. This mixtape is literally everything I wanted in a Skrillex drop, man. It's got bass, it's got some techno moments, it's got some moments, it's got some 15-year-old IDs, it's got character, it's got DJ Smokey, it's got Boys Noise, it's got a Boys Noise collab, it's got vocals,
Dog bless.
breakdowns, a little drum and bass, and a whole lot of energy throughout this whole fucking thing. This is fucking great. Anyone who was in the scene back when Skrill was just starting out can probably feel the energy around this release because it's extremely similar to when he dropped My Name is Skrillex. It's important, it's energetic, and it's absolutely going to be one of the better EDM albums of the year. Throw a dart at this thing for my standout, although if I had to pick one gun to my head, it would be Zeet Noise. This is a 10, bro. Easy.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That was so well said. I'm probably gonna end up covering a few of the same points, so bear with me. But dude,
Do
yeah,
it.
where do you even like start with this type of project? Like it I want to touch on what you touched on first, which is this an album? Because if you showed me this in any other context than the way we ended up receiving it, I would describe this as a mix or a mixtape, like you. It's made up of mostly parts of songs mixed together with DJ tags bridging most of the gaps between them that don't seamlessly blend into each other. But in 2025, Skrillex, aka Sonny Moore, has gone postmodern and yet again redefined something in a way most people will argue against until history proves otherwise. He has gone from being somebody you would get made fun of for listening to being quite possibly the most influential name in dance music. When he puts out music, the dance world stops whatever they're doing to listen. If he plays a new live show, people are combing it for crumbs of new music. Since his big return a couple of years ago, he put out two albums within days of each other and ended up headlining Coachella, selling out Madison Square Garden as well as Red Rocks. There's nothing for him even to left to prove in this comeback that he's been doing in the short time he's
Right.
been doing it. Yet he continues to have this desire to push the limits of himself and the others around him to new creative highs for just the love of the game. The freedom that has allowed him to put out projects like this, equal parts amazing and overwhelming, is just fucking great, man. 34 tracks featuring a variety of styles crammed into 46 minutes, including IDs that go back as far as the iPod era. And yet it all sounds cohesive. It's the type of project that quite literally demands to be listened to front to back right at the start, which I do as much as I can. But that does not mean I don't have favorites throughout this experience. I think the bookends, Spitfire and Voltage, are the two most complete songs that we get on here, or complete in like the length that we hear them. And I feel like they really are the pillars that this album is built around. I'm a big fan of that track with Boys Noise and Dylan Brady on it, like Use Eat Noise. I think the Ultra intro is great, although it's confusingly titled because I'm pretty sure that's not the first track he played at Ultra. That was a Night Punk collab. My standout though is actually a deeper cut. It's Andy. That chopped up R&B
Great.
intro on that is so good, but everything about it that happens afterwards is just as awesome. This whole album is fucking incredible. It's a weird album to assign an arbitrary number to. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's a 10, it's a hell yeah, it's whatever you want to get it.
It's
It's
a hell yeah.
easily my favorite dance release of the year so far, man. This album is fucking great.
Agreed.
All right, man, let's talk about this new one from Momma. Welcome to My Blue Sky. It has been an insane year for indie music, and it's only April. I started listening to this band fairly recently. I heard I Want You Fever a few months ago, had it in my rotation since. I hit follow. Didn't really think about it until I saw they released another single, which ended up being Rodeo. I don't think we talked about that one either, but I knew from hearing those singles the one or two times I'd heard them that we had to cover whatever else they were going to be putting out soon. This happened to be the next release. It's their full-length album, and this album lived up to my brief but personal expectations to it. It's high-quality indie rock, very reminiscent of the 90s shit that I'm always obsessing about on this podcast. I'm not sure where it like ranks in relation to some of the other great albums that we've gotten in the genre this year, but I am really enjoying my time with this one so far. More so every time I listen to it. I would say as of now, it's between like a 7 and an 8, but that could easily go up, man. I Want You Fever, I think, is my standout and probably my favorite, but Rodeo, How to Breathe, and Bottle Blonde are all up there too. Curious how you liked this one though, man, since we haven't talked about them at all yet.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that we hadn't, and I had seen a little bit of buzz about it on Friday, and I was like, "Oh, well, I'm glad we're covering it. People seem to like it." This band is fucking awesome, dude. As is this album. I love their sound. I think it's like Silver Sun Pickups and Dosser and the Beths all got together on a collab album, which sounds
Right.
sick now that I think about it. Um, I love the distortion and the reverb on the guitars. It makes the atmosphere of literally every song, man. Tracks like Stay All Summer have this kind of like energy to them that's so infectious, man. Most of the fucking album is infectious. We are actually covering like a lot of heavy music this week. So this is actually how I started every single morning on my drive to work. This shoegaze meets post grunge meets indie pop is just perfect for a cold, dark drive into work in the morning.
I agree.
Rodeo has this like 90s post-hardcore vibe to it. New Friend has this like stripped down, unplugged vibe to it with with some fantastical lyrical content. Bottle Blonde has that same energy as Stay All Summer with its like droning guitar riff and the simple yet wildly effective catchy chorus. I dislike zero of these tracks, and I think they've got a fantastic vibe. They crushed this album. It's an easy 8 for me. Rodeo is going to be my standout, man.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm glad you enjoyed it as much as I did. That's awesome. I had a feeling you would, but it's good that you did.
Yeah, totally up my alley. Thank you so much for throwing it on, man.
All right, man. Let's talk about the new album from Scowl, Are We All Angels? I know I've been hyping this one up quite a bit every time we talk about the singles, but now that it's out, I can confirm it's every bit the instant classic I thought it'd be. The only thing I don't like about this band is how long it took me to find them. Every song on this album I think is amazing, dude. It's beyond a no skips for me. Every song on this album demands to be listened to. It's perfectly paced and sequenced. The songwriting never gets stale. The music strikes this perfect balance between heavy and melodic in the same way a lot of my other favorite bands do, like Turnstile and Mannequin Pussy. The vocals, though, are what steal the show. The cleans pull you in, the screams blow you away. The melodies are unique, but they feel instantly recognizable. There's an incredible amount of lyrical depth, and the passion and ferocity that they're delivered with is palpable. This is a fucking 10 for me, man. There's nothing bad I can say about this record. I think it's a perfect album. My standouts are Special, Tonight, and Fleshed Out, man. This one is great. What'd you think about it?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, John. All right. So I know we've been like anticipating this album since like the first single dropped, but holy shit, man. This is for sure the best punk or punk adjacent album of the year so far. It's
Yep.
heavy where it needs to be, soft where it needs to be. Scowl has created a whole fucking vibe on this one. I love her harsher vocals on the tracks that she allows herself
Yes.
to, but I also love the cleaner vocals on the majority of this album because it not only like creates a great dichotomy, but her voice is genuinely good, which is something that a lot of punk rockers don't actually have, which I like about punk rock, just for the record, but I also like how
Yeah.
beautiful her voice is. So this starts off with a blister of a track with Special, which sets
Yeah.
the tone for the record very well. This sounds like an early 2000s new metal intro, which is kind of wild, but they turn the heat up with Babe, which absolutely fucking rips. And that catchy chorus is just so Scowl. Fantasy continues with that catchy chorus, fantastic hardcore adjacent riffs, beautiful vocals alongside some fantastic song structure. Not Hell, Not Heaven, obviously a fantastic track. I've been listening to that since it came out as a single. Fucking ripper. The riffs on Tonight I'm Afraid are fantastic, John. I love though Fleshed
Yeah.
Out. Fleshed Out, it's got that riff, man, and it
Yeah.
starts and then they go on to like finish the riff as the song plays out. Wow, fucking rock and roll, dude. Let You Down has this like cute little break for us because they've just been pummeling us with riffs for the last 10, 15 minutes. They bring them back, obviously, but that atmospheric intro was very welcome. Cellophane has arguably the most tough guy hardcore a la 1990s Madball riffs, and I, for one, welcome those. Suffer the
Yep.
Fool has such a cool, like mid 90s vibe to it, man. Haunted kind of shows off their range a little bit, and they have some massive range in the form of like lyrical content, and I just can't help but love it, man. You
Yes.
know, I love me a closer being both a ripper and it being the title track. Are We All Angels is exactly what I wanted to hear. It's exactly what I wanted the closer to be, and they delivered hard, dude. I love this album. I knew that I would. I didn't think that I would like it this much, but this has been on repeat all fucking week, and I don't think I'll stop for the rest of the year. I have also given this album a 10, John.
Oh
I stand out as
shit.
the whole fucking thing. When was the last time we gave
Dude.
the same album a 10? And when was the last time it happened twice on the same fucking episode? Episode 150, y'all.
Yeah, making it special, man. Yeah, that's insane. I knew you were gonna love it. I had no idea. I was like, am I being crazy? Like like I
No,
haven't given
you're
it 10
not,
in a
bro.
while.
It's so good.
Fuck yes, dude. It was meant to be. Everybody go listen to Scowl. They fucking rule. All right, one more album to talk about this week. I'm not sure if it's pronounced Habak or Habak. The new album is translated, the title is A Thousand Orchids in the Middle of the Desert. You sent me a text saying you could not wait to hear what I had to say about this one, so I'll go first. It won't
Please.
take too long, but you already know I love this dude.
I'm
Ferocious
good.
DIY punk from Tijuana. I love how long the songs are. Usually, when we're talking about this style of music, most of them are 2 minutes or less. Most of these are 3 to 5 minutes, if not longer, and not even a dip in quality along the way, dude. They aren't afraid to let things breathe. They aren't afraid to really color outside the lines of genre. It's heavy, it's fun, it holds up well on subsequent listens. Thumbs up from me, easy 7 minimum. My standouts are the first track and the last track, but they're all great. What did you end up thinking about this one, man?
Oh man, I'm glad you liked it. We've been listening to a lot of Spanish language music over the last couple of years, and we don't get a lot of this style Spanish language music, so I'm glad that we did. Uh, Look, man, and I try to cover quite a bit of the chasms of punk rock music. We cover a lot of traditional punk. We cover some hardcore, some screamo, or some post-hardcore, some emo, etc, etc, etc. But we very rarely cover crust punk. And I'm so
Sure.
glad that we have the opportunity to do so here because this band, this album, and every single track on it fucks. I don't understand any of it because they're from Tijuana and everything is in Spanish, but oh boy, do I fucking love this album, man. They start with like a Tool adjacent intro. I don't know if you caught, I
Oh,
don't
I
know
did.
if that was what they were trying to do, but then they just let fucking go, dude. This album is nasty. It's heavy. It's distorted as hell. There's some interesting musicianship happening, and it's very raw. It's very punk. It's very good. They don't let up at all on this record. Even those little melodic breaks and those interlude moments are still very heavy. And honestly, I think I haven't heard anybody describe this band as this, but I'm gonna do it. This is blackened crust punk. There are quite a few tremolo picking moments on the guitar. Some of the spacier and atmospheric moments really tie the room together with all this black metal influence into this punk rock band. I love this album. It was the perfect complement to Scowl this week, as we had two very different sides of punk rock
Yep.
represented here. I don't think I'd have it any other way. Summer Routine an 8 and a 9, but Dejemos Hablar a Viento is probably going to be my standout on this one, which is the closer at just under 7 minutes for a punk band.
We needed something batshit crazy to close episode number 150. So thank you for throwing that one on, man. It was perfect.
Hell yeah. Glad you liked it, man. I was tripping. I saw this come up. I think my boy Christian, our boy Christian, had sent me this band originally, and I was like, oh, man, this is so cool. And then they dropped an album, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, we're covering
Perfect.
this.
Fuck yes. Well, thank you all for tuning in. We are going to be back in next week, starting on the road to the next 150 episodes. We got new albums from Roixop, Mars Volta, Magnolia Park, Baby Tricks, and more. Plus, we'll be recapping Coachella Weekend 1 and planning Brandon's venture into the abyss of Weekend 2. You can check us out on Instagram and Reddit if you want to keep up with all things Brandon's face. But don't be afraid to also follow along with our weekly rotating playlist. You can find the link to that in the show notes. That way you'll know what we're going to be covering on each week's episode. It's typically sorted and updated by Saturday. We will see you all next time. Have a good weekend. Peace.
Peace.